Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the LANCESCURV show. Once again, we have Mr. Political here. And this may not be a long one, but he has a few words to say, and we're going to start the conversation out. Speaking about not John Gotti, but Donald Trump, Freudian slip. They might be one and the same. They both love their hair. They're both from New York City. And anytime you come at them with anything, they both have it slip. So nothing sticks with Donald Trump. Every time you think you got him in something, he slips away. What's up with that, Mr. Political?
Well, good morning, everyone, and it's lovely to speak to you. Sun is shining. I had this epiphany because I watched John Gotti last night, and it drew back such similarity to my life experience that I'm going through today and seeing my political individuals peruse around the 2020 election. Now, I, as an individual, and I've always expressed it deeply to each individual, that D after your name that you was born with, under the assumption, is not a beast of burden. Mr. Donald Trump has shown that anytime that anyone labels you and cannot prove it, but only do it with lip service. And lip service go both ways, up and down. But the lip service that they've been serving to him is that he's all this, he's non-American, he's going to do this, he's volatile. Yes, this is all true. That's the beautiful part about being an American. The individual within themselves can express themselves however, whenever, however. And he just happened to be the president. Now you say, well, that can lead to racism and everything like that. True, if that's where your mind's at. If that's the experiences that you're going through each and every day. But the individuals that I see that is giving these comments about Mr. Trump has never experienced real racism. They think the inability not to use their charge card and not get their Mercedes clean or be denied a seat at Bennigan's before the next one. They think that that's racism. But half the generation, that's where your mind's at. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
and it's a ticket. It's a ticket. And they use it for upper mobile growth. All right, and they'll say, this brother lost his mind. He's saying that we use racism for upper growth. Look who you hanging out with. The kings of comedy. The kings of racism. That's who you're hanging out with. And you trying to tell me because I'm supposed to be under your lower economic standard of what a Afro-American can be, and I just happen to be black. I'm proud to be black. Okay? And twice on Sunday, I'm proud to be black. Okay, because not only do I get the blessings of God, but I get the blessings of my heritage on that Sunday. Because we're a people of struggle. And in that, Mr. Trump is similar. He just another brother by another color and another mother. Right? They gonna throw this racism. They're going to try to play with your intelligence because you was born with a D behind your name. And it don't mean for darling, it means for dumb. And there's a distinct difference between darling and dumb. Darling, people go, ooh, dumb, they say that's a shame. Right? So don't buy into it. Now, as I always, in ending, I'm going to say this into 2020, November 4th, prior to you registering to vote, prior to you taking your children to register to vote, go to the supervisory elections and remove that D from behind your name. Remove that chain, that beast, the burden, which holds you back generation after generation. Remove that D from your name. I didn't say take the mark of the R. I didn't say take the mark of the beast. I say be an independent, be a free thinking, be a freeman. And if all you who do not understand what a freeman is, look it up, Google it. Okay, because there was plenty of black people who were freemen. And this time, when we go to the polls in November 4th, make sure that you send a definite, hard social message to those individuals who propagate and run the 59 plantations of this country. They call cities from Detroit. Hear what I say to you as I raise my right hand to God, and this too shall pass. Go to your supervisory election and remove that D from behind your name. And it don't stand for darling, it stands for dumb. Be an independent, be the strongest collective bargaining block of voters that the Americans fear the most, other than the illegal alien. And once you do that, all this too shall pass. Your children being murdered in the streets and your police out of control with unions, this too shall pass. The propaganda where you cannot feel that you can live the American dream because of your color and because of your ethnic background in this country, this too shall pass. They have controlled us for over 400 years by the vote, and the vote will set us free once again. All you have to do is go down to the supervisory election and humble yourself to God and say, I removed this D from my name, and it don't stand for darling, it stands for dumb. And this is your brother, Mr. Political, and I'm out.
So quick. He ain't playing today. We'll be back shortly, everybody. Take care. This was a short one. I hear you back there laughing.
I hope I went too hard, bruh.
Oh, it's still live. But go ahead, man. We're gonna do another one later.
Well, it's a strange world we live in. The candidates like roaches, the lights have came on and they scurry around the stage and they tell us all that we should overlook racism. You can never overlook American history.
You can't vote out racism. You know what I mean?
No, it's not called racism. What they want to do is they want to do a thing called a do-over. They want to reframe American history. They don't want to start it with the fantasy of hip Plymouth Rock. They want to start in 18-something or another with some more caca to get you confused about the issue, to confuse your children about what they did. Okay, changing how you speak about it or when it occurred does not change what has occurred. These are the same people who came to you with HR 40 and was talking about, well, reparations, but first we got to create a board to see if slavery really happened.
Oh God.
These are slave masters from that 59 plantations they call cities. These are the slave masters, foot soldiers, who went under criticism by the Losimos beast, those who have not even evolved, and it took them almost 300 years after Christ come to invent fire. Will tell you that this man is racist. When the last time you seen him at a picnic? That's code for let's do a lynching.
Yep. Pick a nigga.
Okay, when the last time you seen him at a picnic? We didn't pick you, but you next. You feel what I'm saying?
Yep.
Okay, when he called somebody straight out their mouth, nigga. Until you call me straight, you do whatever you want behind closed doors, because you don't take your shoes off under my table. We ain't skin folk nor kin folk. So what you feel in your home, see, I'm a real American. 100, bred, seen cotton fields and pea fields, seen it all. Seen colored bathrooms, seen it all. Didn't go through the marches, didn't have no dogs on me, didn't have no work. Yeah, all that. They didn't put their hands on me because we was past that. At that point, we was putting stuff in your food. You don't want to go to McDonald's. Really, you don't. It could go badly for you. So you don't want to come with that dumbness, and it won't be no dumbness. Granddaddy said it best, won't start no shit, won't be no shit. And that's it. And that's how you live in America. We cannot change what occurred. People got people in their family that wish people would have used sexual protection, condoms, or withdrawal, or just not even touch it. But they're in your family. Can you change that? No, you can't. It is what it is. But because it is what it is, we have something that no one in the world has. Even in our bottom existence, from what people say, because everything in life is not promised to everybody. You may desire it, but if you understand the American dream is made by the sweat of your brow and the hardening of your labor, and that's how you get yours. Ain't no shortcuts to America. Ain't never been, never had. Ask the Irish. Some of them came under indentured servitude, and that's a big word for you Afro-Americans. So I'm gonna break it down to you. For paid slaves. Okay, that's when you go there, you go to the man, you say, I'm gonna get a man 3 years, and he give you some money, or you go work it off for him. No different than plantation or sharecropping. And they got sharecropping today. They just call it by different names. And as time go on and history goes on and people reevaluate the things that happened in the culture during that period of time, they will see the negativity in these things. They will see the negativities in our effort. And they will see how the wall stopped encroachment. May not like it. It doesn't concern me. I'm on the other side of the wall. So what's the issue? I don't see nobody in Honduras doing 68, 65. I ain't seen nobody at the Roof Motel. I don't see none of them people. They didn't have nothing to do with me, and they don't really have nothing to do with our community. Like most immigrants, when it comes down to the Black community, we always the last that they interact with. They prefer to interact with the white community and other Hispanics before they interact with the Black community. And the only reason they interact with the Black community because the rents are cheaper. The exposure by the police to them are less because the police have much time for us. So they don't have time for them.
That's the way it's rolling.
It is what it is. Okay, and we can't ignore what's in your face. It's like the man. You remember the old joke? The man, he a used book salesman, and he on the road every day. And he come home one day and he put his key in the door and he can't, and the lock don't turn. So he get the other key and open up the top lock and it wouldn't turn right. And he knock on the door. He ain't been home in 2 weeks, right? His old lady come to the door. And she opened up the door with the chain on. Honey, let me in. She said, hold on, let me get dressed. What you mean get dressed? Why you got to get dressed? I didn't see you naked. We've been married. What you need to get dressed for? Just open up the door and let me in. No, I got to get dressed. Okay. She finally opened up the door. There's some nigga sitting there. He putting on his shoes. He whistling a tune, sucking on a toothpick. Just got fed. And I don't mean nourishment. So he's sitting there on the edge of the bed. He got some brand new Stacy's and he getting ready to leave. He say, see you later, He ain't like a real man. He's like, what the hell is going on? What did I just see? She said, you didn't see nothing? He said, yes, I did. He said, no, them your lying eyes. That's what Black America is suffering right now. From your lying eyes. They see what's going on. But because they got empathy in their leadership, they got empathy toward American leadership, they're very hesitant as the the excitement of the race becomes more aware of what's going on. They're getting surveys that are saying that for Hispanics and people of color, Mr. Trump is moving up the ladder, and that sounds very positive. You understand? It doesn't promote him as the second coming of Jesus Christ. Don't grab your food stamps and go and get scared and everything. Because right now in America we got the lowest period in American history of people receiving food stamps. Yes, it's true. You can check it. The lowest period of time people receiving food stamps. So those people who are
out of that, let me just ask you, who's receiving it? Who's the majority? Is it still
you
farmers?
have to understand. Well, it would be low income. Food stamps through the Department of Agriculture is a regional thing. Each state is allotted a grant. In the grant partnership with the Department of Agriculture, and in the state of Florida, the Department of Children and Family Services allow them to provide services. Now, in the state of Florida, we carry at least a 2% margin of individuals who receive food stamps, but the vast majority of them are immigrants and low-income whites. Mm-hmm. It's just that when we talk from the lip service, we're always the bad ones. We're always the abusers. When they do the photo shoot, they always get the one with the plastic bag or the one with the rollers or the one who can't speak. They'll see me in the crowd and they'll, well, we don't want to talk to his ass. That's the wrong one to be talking to.
You got the mind
right? They always get. It's serious, man. They know who to direct it to send out the message and the projection that they want, and it has worked for the last 35 years. And Obama propagated on it as much as any other president because he used it as a focusing tool to persuade individuals that it was a more necessary need. And I'm not saying that there are not people who fall through the cracks. I fell through the cracks. I spent 7 years of my life at one junction homeless. That's why I'm more conscious about what goes on in my country instead of just acting like Harry the Hippo and lay on the ground and hope that they just go by and the sky turn blue tomorrow. That's not how America works. You understand? And when you try to explain to younger people and older younger people, because there's a distinct difference. Younger people run between the ages of 16 and 20. Younger adult people run between 20 and 35. Okay. Mm-hmm. Their understanding of the real world doesn't go past the small screen, the idiot box, and social graces. These three things put them in a framework. These are the what's the kind word? The DNA of the Afro-American. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's what he made up of right now. I'm not saying everybody of color, and primarily me as a black person, I can recognize a black American versus an Afro-American in a split second. You can recognize them in a split second. And you feel sorry for them, but at the same time, you don't want to be fucked up with them. You really don't. Okay. And, because they, what Afro-Americans do? A flower is free if you go in your community. But an Afro-American would spend $100 on a plastic flower stick pin to put in a suit and call it fashion. That's what Afro-Americans do. Afro-American, black people never liked it howdy doody, because for black people who don't know who howdy doody is, it was this white man who had his finger up this white dummy's ass, and they made jokes, and it had freckles, and it was all country. It was cute. Granddaddy used to watch it. We watched it right after Yeehaw. Y'all wouldn't know nothing about that either. But these are redneck shows. But they're very classic shows. Music is superb, jokes is corny, but they funny, right? So Granddaddy, he being from Arkansas, it's normal, So you get accustomed to Hee Haw, Lawrence Welk, PBS, Tony Brown's Journal.
Yeah.
Uh, um,
Remember that.
what was, you know, these were staples in our house. Mutual of Omaha, Wild Kingdom was guaranteed on the Sunday night before you had to go to bed. It was guaranteed. Granddad sit there. He got his. Back then they didn't have the taps where you just pop it. He had to have a can over on his key ring because he liked that slits and that Milwaukee best. Lord have mercy, did that stink when it got hot. So these are memories of black people. These are memories of black people and their pride of being black. So Mr. Donald Trump, he's not going to mess with that. He's going to monopolize off of that because he knows that he's fighting the Afro American, an insignificant generation that's looking for identity, and their identity reeks of nothing but ignorance and confusion. And when they're confronted with real social issues, other than they always being tenderfoot about being a brunt of racism. Racism has always been here. Racism got Christ put up on the cross. So what make you think that you're immune of going through this world of racism? The only day that you will stop seeing racism in America is the day that they take you out to church feet first and you with your holy father. If you meet that criteria to be considered in that grouping that he let in there, because heaven ain't got no ghettos, so it's standing room only. Okay, contrary to belief what Tupac said.
Where do you get these sayings from, man? It just flow out of you like that?
Well, I read a lot. I love the cinema. I go to the theater whenever I can get an opportunity to, and it's very difficult because you can't be a black man and like the theater, because if you go to the theater by yourself, then they looking at you all side-eyed. All right, everybody clutching their nearest wife. Okay, so what you try to do, you try to find someone culturally equal, someone sociably informed, so you can spend a gracious evening without drama and complaints of how much more money you gonna spend on me. You understand? So I cut right to the chase. You're only worth what you bring to the table. Since I'm taking you out, this ain't your meal. So you either eat or step. It's a very simple combination. And most men can understand that if we live in a society where the women outnumber us 7-1, that's where we're at right now. So why should you give a damn if she upset? Really? At 7-1. When social graces allow you to look past a size 6 to a size 16, then why should you give a damn if she upset? If social graces say that society standards allow you to not only create and appropriate a child, but go through court and take the child, why should you give a damn that she upset? It's a very simple thing to be a man. All you have to do is start with the oldest word that mankind has ever created, and that is no. If you can master the art of saying no,
just say no.
Just say no. If she got the panties in the air and she's swinging upside down on the pole and you're looking at the Kit Kat like it's a wanted poster, just say no. If it's spread out with bubbles and lavender and myrrhs and incense, served up with strawberries and chocolate covered raisins, just say no. If it comes with a six figure and no moral or sociable obligation other than hitting that ass twice a week, just say no. It's a very simple thing, right? Ask Christ. Read the biblical passage about how Christ said, well, the man said, all you got to do is call your father and you be out this mix. He said, no. Can't do that. Won't do it. See how simple it is? If you strive each and every day of your life to be Christ's life, it is very simple and very easy for you to say no. Raise my right hand to God, and this too shall pass. It's very simple. I told one no the other day. She come with some bumfoolery. She thought I was Harry the Hippo, stuck on stupid something. She gonna feed me some crocodile tears, and it's running like the Niagara Falls. And I'm supposed to, she give me the shot of the cleavage, trying to use that DNA, trying to get some of my TNA. No, baby girl, no, 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 no. And when you got them is when they say something derogatory about you, out of your clothing, your dress, or you're broke. You know that you hurt them, because no woman can walk away without saying something derogative when you say no to them. I could bet you money. When you tell her no, she got to have the last word. She got to take it all the way to the door. This is 4 inches, and she don't give a damn. It's 4 inches, and she don't give a damn. Trust what I say to you. And all you got to do is just.
Laws of the political.
That's, hey, bro. It's work, I'll end up like 59% of most black males. We end up divorced or never been married or die alone. We have a girlfriend or a booty call or whatever, how you classify it, if you're paying their light bill. Um, we have one of them always waiting in the wings so they can shed a tear and see if you left them something on paper. Since we don't have no assets, I don't know why she shed the tear. She must be there for the free chicken dinner after the service. But we end up dying alone because we do not know how to say no. Most older men, when you see them in their receding years, if you ask them the truth, they will say, "My biggest problem was not saying no." As soon as we master that as men, the better off we'll be. Um, Things are changing. The courts are most acceptable. I got cases today, and I got lobbying today. And I'm hoping in persuasive terms that I can convince these individuals that the man, primarily the black man, is worth saving. That his injection back into the black American family would take us to another decade, a more successful decade, a more harmonious, more hormonal, hormonal, yes, harmonious existence. That's my hope, because things are changing. They're not changing as fast as the sexual revolution, but they are changing. And men are getting an opportunity to live up to their full potentials instead of living with a stigma. The black man and the white man has two things in common that the society could never take away from them. One that draws them together is that they've both been labeled for something that they had nothing to do with. The white man's been labeled generation after generation to be racist, but not all white people are racist. But just because of their color, they're considered racist because of the actions of a few. The black man is the same way. He is being judged based upon the actions of a few. And it's a grouping. And a friend of mine say, well, why do you keep saying those people or then or the media? Well, if you pay attention and you've seen the evolutionary change of American media, then you would notice that some funny shit's going on. But if you just grew up with BET and the music video, you after R. Kelly kids, um, who had the video and Black Street and all of like that. Y'all wasn't paying attention until you got into your 30s. Then you had bills to pay, and then you was paying attention. And black people don't pay attention as young people until it's time to pay some bills and the party's over. And you got to make a living for yourself, and you got to survive. And that's when they start paying attention, and they got all the shit. Most of the time, they just play Humpty Dumpty, sit on the wall, and that's how that is. All right, my brother. There it is.
Undisputed truth.
Hmm.
Just the political.
That's it. We're gonna.
I have more questions now after you talked and answered some questions.
Well,
now you got me thinking.
Well, you know, Mr. Miller Harris, that's a good one for you. You know, because they pick our front runners, and they Bernie, he barking up the right tree, but Bernie has it. He's never changed. He's always been consistent with the same talking point. So you can trust him a little bit more than the others, but you don't trust none of them. You don't trust nobody. If you walk in the room, he got a $250,000 suit on, you still don't trust his ass because you got to figure out how he got the money to pay for that bitch. You don't trust none of them. Really, you don't, because they'll lie to you quicker than a pimp trying to get you in the car to put you on the next corner. And I'm talking about 105th Street, real corner. All right, have your ass jumping in and out of cars for real. So you can't, Miss Harris. I feel very uneasy with her. She takes command like she speaks about what she knows. She's being backed by individuals which she will be nothing but a puppet to and beholding to. She will make a lot of, she's already told you, black people, if you vote for me, I'm not going to take your issues, number one. So why would you vote for her? Because she a woman? Because she got color? Well, hell, if I shave my legs long enough, I got color. Vote for my ass. But don't vote for her just because she a woman and just because she a color, because she didn't told you. And she can't make it any more clearly that if she is president, she is not going to make black people issues core number one. So why would you even consider her to vote for? Why would you even enter into conversation with any of her core supporters of the same color when they're all feeding from the government trough and speaking the same talking point that's put us in the muck that we're in right now? You know, how many more times you gonna be the dumb brand new hooker on the corner giving the blowjob and you don't get paid? Stop giving blowjobs and not getting paid. Right? All meat ain't good meat. I'm trying to tell you.
Oh,
some of that shit sit in your system for eight years. So if you swallow that meat that he's slinging, because you're giving out free blowjobs, all right? And you wondering why your colon in the uproar that it is right now, and you had that meat sitting there for 8 years. And it still ain't passed through your colon. I tell you, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a MD, nor do I walk around with a whole thing of Vaseline and a rubber glove. You don't need no test to see that you got a problem with your colon. You don't need nobody to posse up behind you in no skirt, tell you breathe deeply, and check you for polyps, because they're all up in there. You know? And I know that that's a gory, disgusting analogy, but politics is a dirty, disgusting act by disreputable people who will lie to you about anything, about everything. And they will use the wording to manipulate their lie so they can come back and have plausible denial afterwards. No, I said this. I never promised that. You just assumed that I meant this. That's how they work with you. They ain't guarantee anything they come to the table and they say to you, that shit is not in stone. It ain't even nowhere in the mix. It may be plausible in their mind, in your dreams, and other people's hopes, but anything that they bring to the table right now as a candidate is just a promise. And all you helpers that stuck with child support, you know what a promise is. So if you don't trust your baby daddies, don't trust none of these asses up there on them stages, because they not gonna bring home the child support. Really, they not.
At least you have access to the baby daddy. You can't even have access to these politicians.
Well, why should I? Why should I give you access? It was said that you gonna vote whatever I tell you to vote. You gonna do whatever I tell you. If I told you that you need to show up at the Academy Awards in a dress looking like Gone to the Wind, and you call it a tuxedo dress, and this is going to be the new dress for every time we have the Academy Awards, and you show up at the Academy Awards, why should I worry whether or not it was the latest fashion or not? You did exactly what I told you to do. See, Afro Americans, they do what they told to do. They think the way they told to think. They even tell you what is racist to you, and they white. That's the one to be blowing me away. You white, but you gonna tell me what offend me. You white. As the driven snow, singing 1941, listen for a white Christmas, all that shit. And you get on TV, you get in mixed company, you even go down to the local Bahid store. I know that was racist. I'm sorry. Okay, bodega. You go down to the nearest bodega, and you'll sit there and you'll tell somebody of another ethnic color what offends them, what is degrading to them and their children, and how this, from the traffic to a bitch getting a cup of sugar, is racist. Afro Americans, they need to get back on their knees, and I don't mean in blowjobs. I mean get next to Christ. And y'all need to seek some Jesus in your life. Because when you are a person of color, allowing someone of white to tell you what is racist to you, you don't have to worry about what Joe Biden said they're going to put you back in chains. You're automatically in chains. Your mind is changed. Don't never let no white person tell you what is racist to you, and accept that. I teach my children that. I got 2 girls. They don't like half the stuff I say. But they know when somebody being racist to them, and they don't need no white person to tell them that, oh, she was being racist to you. You sure we sick? Because that's what you sound like when you listen to their asses.
Is we sick, master?
Yeah.
Sick.
I'm serious, bro. I'm too old for this. I was telling my sister this morning. We were sharing a cup of Java. You know, that's my jug of choice. And I said, love, the world has changed quite a bit. She said, yes, baby boy, it's just changed quite a bit. And I said, you know, I never thought I'd live a day when white folks can tell me what offend me, what racism is, and how I should get over it, and, and she said, "Baby boy, welcome to the future." So the future means that we are not free-thinking individuals any longer. Even if that was a question to be put on the table to consume, that we were free-thinking individuals, that we had the competency as part of the human race to have the thinking faculties to judge whether or not an individual was degrading me, making me feel less than a human being. That I must, after 435 years, still rely on those who perceive themselves as my oppressor to decide what offends me. I think it's time for me to go home to my Heavenly Father. It's getting a little too crowded down here. I really do. It's getting a little too crowded down here. And every time I walk in the room and turn on the lights, all I see is Afro Americans just skirting every goddamn where. And that's not very confident in my receding years. I'm supposed to be able to sit at the weeping willow tree with a nice hard tonic, a pretty young thing, tight and tender, not with the big booty, just a normal size 8, you know, something nice, respectable, some eye candy, and chill in the corner. I'm supposed to be able to do that, watch the babies play, bath in the 4th of July and Easter, all those beautiful things, and look forward to going down there and getting a new pair of shoes and have, all that shit. I'm supposed to be at that point in my life. But then I'm left with, walking around with the duty can of alert can of rage, trying to get the Afro Americans to get out of that sickness that they didn't consume. It's just ignorance. Just plain old ignorance. Don't make, quote a famous man, Bernie Mac, don't make no motherfucking sense. It don't. It don't. It don't, bro. It don't. And met a gentleman the other day. He's a porter and a cook for a restaurant I want to take you to. I don't want to shout out the name of the restaurant, but I'm going to take you there before I shout it out. And it has a very unusual name. And by the Afro American standard, they wouldn't go to the restaurant. I go there on the frequency, have meetings there. They love me there. I've always been told when you feel that something is racist towards you and your race, then you confront it. You confront it in a civil manner, and you confront them with facts in a dialogue. You don't sit there and cuss them out and threaten effigies and commit violence. I ain't saying that you let somebody put their hands on you, but your hands on me is gonna be trouble. I'm gonna have to cut you short from nut to butt. I'm gonna have to cut you. So you're supposed to confront it. You don't supposed to let this stand. You're supposed to be civil because you're the injured party. You're the righteous one. So you can confront it in a civil manner without cursing the person out and violating their life. If they choose to take it to another level, then that shit is on like popcorn. We go wherever you want to go. We do whatever you want to do. Ain't nothing between us but air and space and opportunity. You know what I'm saying? You get the white supremacists and the black neo-Nazis or whatever they calling us now, and you put all them bitches in a room. No, we do one thing better. We do just like we used to do in camp. If you got a beef, because see, I went to a boys' camp. We didn't let no girls in there because it was all about madness with them girls. If you had a beef with somebody, you don't go in there and fight. They put you on Friday night as entertainment. They put your name on the boxing, and you step in the ring with the boxing gloves on, and you get that shit out your system. You get 3 rounds, and then y'all all that you mad at him and he mad at you. Y'all punch on each other, and you get that shit out of it. But once y'all step out of that ring, it's over. Okay, it's over. Okay, everybody got their satisfaction. Everybody got their due. Everybody made whole again, like the state of Florida say. Everybody made whole again. But we don't do that. That's why they out there shooting each other and killing each other. All right. Instead of knowing that they had a confrontation, all right, y'all want to fight, just harmonize the community and everything. All right. Friday night, you'll sit in jail, you'll sit in jail. You'll be in one cell, you'll be in one cell. And when Friday night come, y'all beat up on each other with the understanding when that fight is over, y'all done with that madness. Okay? You done with that madness. But we don't have that society anymore. It's very barbaric to the civilized individual who believe that guns is the way to answer your crime. Guns are not the answer to your problem. Self-defense is the answer to your problem, but guns is not the answer to your problem, right? It was always said, when you kill your brother, we lose two. We don't lose one, we lose two. Because one either going to go to heaven or hell, the other one going to hell and jail. And this is a fact of life. So when you shoot your brother and you think you got satisfaction and that glow wear off and reality kicks in, we lose two instead of one. And we should always keep that in mind. I haven't heard about any murders today. Haven't heard about any mass shootings today. Haven't heard about any domestic violence today. Haven't heard any road rage today. Food stamp fraud, government medocos.
The day ain't over yet, brother.
Well, what corruption do more before 8 a.m. than people do all damn day. And that's a material fact. Corruption does more before 8 a.m. than some people do all damn day. So I figured they'll take a break since it's kind of muggy, and we're getting ready to get into winter soon, and I'll be glad. But it's going to be a very cold one this winter. It's going to be a very cold one. I can see it in the trees. I can see it in the way the grass is growing. When you're old, you got plenty of time to observe all these things. When you're young, you're just riding up and down the street listening to crazy music. You don't see shit. But when older you get, the more things you notice. You know, maybe it's because you spent X amount of time on Earth and you've seen the evolution and change of things. But that's it. I have court at 4 today. The last hearing of the day is going to be very entertaining. Very entertaining.
Really? What's it for? If I may ask, like, is it some
Well,
thing with somebody else?
well, I'm asking for a judge to be removed for conflict of interest, and I don't want to go any deeper than that because it becomes a racial issue, which our court system is becoming more involved in, where they don't really have jurisprudence to be involved in, but they get involved in anyway. And the court system is the last to admit that they have corrupt individuals that work in their rank, especially in the state of Florida. You may have the clerk of court which you believe in, which you trust, like I believe in our clerk of the court, Scott Ellis. He's a great guy. He does a great job. He works hard for Brevard County. But the challenges that he has to face when it comes down to the county administrators and administrators within the court system, is just catastrophic. So at this juncture right now, a new thing is that everybody been picking on the black man. So the race that don't supposed to be here, let's join in and picking on the black man. But we'll do it with the legal ones that's supposed to be here, not the illegal ones. And we'll keep the focus on this, knowing that the Welfare Initiative Act says that every man who family and children receives public assistance and food stamps is governed under the child support law. But as you notice, all these Hispanic women is receiving all this public assistance, but ain't none of they men being housed about no child support. You understand? None of they men are being housed about child support. None of the men are being harassed while they work illegally, because if they stop, then they'll find out that they don't have driver's license nor work permits to be in this country. If warrants and writs of attachment are put out for them, then they have to be held accountable. Since they're not legally working in the state, or if they're illegally working in this state, they can't pay child support, and they be deported. But the question is why are they getting driver's license and you're not a legal citizen, and you stop legal citizens from having driver's license so they can pay child support. So right now I'm asking this judge to be removed because she took a very negative opinion of the black male, and she used her position with a contract attorney to give the impression of ethnic bias, you know. And it's not a very good feeling to sit in a room with a number of other races other than white people and have them judge you, knowing what the situation is about their people. So today I'm going to ask this judge to remove herself, or we're going to have to fight in court. And that means I'm going to have to go. And if she got one illegal alien in her family, if she got any of her people not here, and any of her people not paying anybody in her family that's a Mexican man and ain't paying his child support, I'm going to have that bitch removed from the bench. I'm going to have her removed from the bench because the number of cases that she has heard is no different than that white police officer in the state of Florida that planted them drugs. 192 cases he planted drugs in people's cars. And that's what they do. Them and their minions, they plant drugs. May it be narcotics or may it be child support. It's still a drug. They make money off of it. They give money to their core organization, law enforcement, and so forth and so forth. No, I'm not anti-law enforcement. I'm just anti-corrupt law enforcement. Yes, I believe in the necessary evil. I don't think the need for the necessary evil to believe in me is necessary. So that's today at 4 o'clock, and it's going to be a glorious thing. We're going to have barbecue afterwards. I already made my reservations. Going to a little hole in the wall, get my little, ooh, Lord, some good barbecue. So, hey, I want all black people out there, I want you to start playing cornhole. It is the best game for men. It's good exercise, it's good camaraderie, and the churches should promote cornhole teams. You ever play? Hello?
I'm here, brother. I just muted myself
Yeah.
and make a little noise over here.
Okay. I'm have to get off this phone because I'm waiting for this girl so she picked me in the court. But I was saying that we need to have a cornhole tournament. Gathering of the old men playing some cornhole. That's how you do community. Everybody put on their white and they hats, and we get us a cornhole, we get us a field that we put on a cornhole picnic. And you'd be surprised how much good times you'll have. So I'm going to have to say good day, and I'm going to have to go and pay some bills and make some money. My brother, I will call you.
Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much.
Yes, most definitely. Most definitely. I look forward to always talking to my people. One of these days, I'm going to get an opportunity and sit down and look at all the responses, but they got me running from here and there and up the road. And as I kick off my shoes and I hit up the dusty road, I just like to say, keep it on moving, shake it off, boss. Tomorrow is a better day. All right?
Yeah.
And when you meet death, that's it. When you meet death, you tell him not today. Not today. All right, bye-bye.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Political. It's been a wonderful little chat. We're definitely going to have some more installments. And for those who asked for the Mrs. SCURV veggie burger recipe video, I will tell you how long it's going to take. It's uploading. As a matter of fact, it might be ready now. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and see. I'll drop the link in the room so you can get a chance to look at it. Put a little music on first. Thank you, Mr. Political. Thank you so much.
All right.
Got a few things to do today, y'all. I will be back with several more videos. We're going to get down today. Enjoy the Mrs. SCURV Lily Vegan veggie burger video. Can't go wrong with it. Matter of fact, I'm about to go in and eat some more now. Take care. Have a wonderful day.